Hello, my name is Lex Milburn, and I am the study abroad office intern for this summer. And I've studied abroad twice myself, once in spring of 2019 in the Czech Republic, and once in this past spring of 2020 in Ireland. I've also gone on several independent solo trips that have been immensely important, and all of this has taken me to 25 countries on 4 different continents. And I just would like to say that travel has been immensely valuable and important in my own life. And because of this, I just wanted to take the time to get some information out to you on how studying abroad is affordable and convenient and a very feasible way to travel. If you haven't done it before, or even if you're a well seasoned traveler, it still absolutely can be for you. So thank you for taking the time to listen to the presentation. I'd like to start out by talking about why you should study abroad. If you've got some preconceived notions in your head about why studying abroad isn't for you or all of the reasons that you can't, I'd like you to just set those aside for a moment and then we'll come back and address those. So we can just talk about, just to start off, like, why should you want to do this thing? And the first is to push yourself out of your comfort zone. I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase that if you're comfortable, you're not growing. And I definitely think that that is true. So pushing yourself out of your comfort zone can look like a lot of different things. It can look like learning how public transportation system works, or learning how to get yourself from point A to point B, jumping out of an airplane, or paragliding, like this photo of Lindsay outside of the Alps in Austria. But no matter what, it is absolutely valuable to gain independence and face your fears and learn how to travel. That while we're in college is the great time to teach ourselves this skill before we go out into the professional world and have to travel for work or our personal lives. If you already know how to travel and get yourself comfortable, you're opening those doors for yourself in the future and making sure that you never have to say no to an experience because it makes you uncomfortable. Another reason to study abroad is to make new friends. I think that this is a huge one. If you go on one of our group trips, then you'll be studying abroad with other UNK students that will then come home with you, and now you have friends for life. You have people that you get to reminisce with on those experiences. If you don't go on a group trip and you go on a solo experience, then you are going to be meeting friends from all around the world. You'll now have a friend in Germany and a friend in Austria, and maybe you can call them and say, hey, I'm actually going to be in Germany next week. Can I come stay on your couch? And it sounds crazy, but I definitely have people that I can call and say that to. Another reason is to network. So not only are you networking with the other UNK students or other students that are on your trip, but also with the UNK faculty member that will go, the professor that will lead your trip. If you make a good impression on this person, you now have a letter of recommendation and a reference for and a mentor for life. And I'm extremely thankful for the UNK professors that I've met on my trips. You're also improving your career prospects and you're making yourself stand out. By having study abroad on your resume, you show that you're a person that is adaptable and flexible, willing to try new things and push out of their comfort zone. And also, only 16% of United States students that earn a bachelor's degree study abroad. So it might seem common, but this is not on every single resume. Another reason to study abroad is to see the world. Not everybody has that desire to see the world, but many of us do. We don't just want to see pictures of the Eiffel Tower or see pictures of the pyramids, but we want to see those things in person. And there's really no better time than to start than right now. In your professional career, getting 3 months of vacation is nearly unheard of. That's not a common thing, and it's a luxury to be in college and get to pack up for 3 months and start crossing off things from your bucket list. Another reason to study abroad is to experience a different culture. The people that live in the country that you're visiting want to talk to you. They want to get to know you. They want to talk about the politics of their country and the politics of our country. They want you to try the food they just made or the beer that they just brewed. They want to share those things with you the same way that you might want to share these things with a visitor if another visitor from a country came to your home. So, and these people that you're talking to have different perspectives and they open your mind to different thought processes and different possibilities. The United States doesn't always do things the best way, and sometimes going to another country can help you develop your opinions more fully. So you've heard my reasons and you still don't think studying abroad is for you. So let's talk about some of the reasons that students often think they can't study abroad. And the number one is that they can't afford it. For many students, this actually just isn't true. You pay your normal tuition and fees to UNK, and your normal tuition and fees and your boarding, you're paying for your living, costs about the same price as a normal semester to UNK. However, do you need to have extra money saved up? Absolutely. You're going to need money for your plane ticket, for your food, and for additional travel and spending money while you're over there. This often looks like $3,000 to $5,000, depending on who you are and how much money you spend on a daily basis. So the number one thing you can do to help save yourself money is to not overpay on your plane ticket. Instead of paying $1,000 to $1,500 on your plane ticket, do your research, play around with different dates and flying into different airports, and then getting a cheaper, closer flight. For example, instead of flying into Prague when I studied abroad in the Czech Republic, I flew into London and then took a $100 flight from London to Prague once I got there. You also have some time to work and save up money before you study abroad. The programs that are a semester long usually only go for 3 months. So that leaves you a month and a half to 2 months to just work and save up some of that extra money that you're going to need to spend on the experience. That picture on the right is me and some of my friends in Iceland. We booked our flight through Iceland Air for $550 round trip, and we got to stop over in Iceland for a week for free on our way to Dublin. Maybe you're worried that you'll be homesick, that you'll be being away from your family is something scary for you, and that is completely valid. The first thing you could do is open up a dialogue with your parents or your family members that you don't want to be away from and see what they think. See if maybe they're more supportive than you would think they might be, and maybe they're even interested in visiting. All three of these pictures are students who have had family members come and visit them. They're from your parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts and uncles, and siblings. The majority of our students actually have some sort of family member come and visit them while they're over there. They won't be able to visit you during your experience, but they could come before, after, or during your 10-day fall break or spring break while you're over there, would all be potential opportunities. The picture on the far left is Bailey Gittler and her mother in Greece. They actually went on a 10-day Mediterranean cruise with their entire family. So it is possible, and it is to get your family to go out there. Maybe you're worried that it'll slow down your graduation progress. This is also a completely valid fear because realistically it could. The group trips of the Ireland and the Czech Republic, you earn 12 credits, and those credits are already set. And they apply for they will meet the requirements of certain generals. And so the earlier that you decide that you're going to study abroad, or start talking to your advisor and start talking to the study abroad office and having those conversations, the earlier that we're going to be able to ensure that you're not taking those classes, that you are taking other classes instead when you're younger years, so that when you do study abroad, all of the credits are going towards what you want them to be. Maybe that you're worried that it's unsafe. I have a fun statistic about that, actually. The Forum for Education Abroad recently published a report that American students are actually safer while they study abroad than they are on their home campuses. That the mortality rate for American students is actually higher on their home campuses than it is while they are abroad. And so this means that you could get hurt anywhere. And studying abroad, even though it seems scary because you're in an unfamiliar environment, does not necessarily make it any less safe. So you've heard my reasons and you're still unconvinced. There's nothing I can do. All I can say is that the number one regret for college students after getting their undergraduate degrees is not studying abroad. So if you don't want that to be you, keep learning more, keep asking questions, and keep researching, and maybe see if it's something that you would consider. I'd like to take a moment to talk to you about some of our annual programs. A summer experience in Australia. We send students to the Czech Republic in both the fall and the spring. We send students to Ireland in the spring, and we also have independent experiences available almost anywhere that you can go on if you're interested. So the summer in Australia, it's about a month long. You earn 6 credit hours, and you study at the Sunshine Coast in Australia in southern Queensland. It's generally our most expensive trip, just because Australia is an expensive country to visit with a plane ticket. It's expensive to study at the University of the Sunshine Coast, and the exchange rate is not in our favor. So those are all things to keep in mind. But a lot of times students want to go to Australia and it's on their bucket list and they don't care, so they want to go anyway, and that's not a problem. The fall semester in the Czech Republic, we have been sending students to the Czech Republic since 1992. Generally, we were just doing trips in the spring, but because there was such a high interest, we started opening a trip up in the fall as well. The trips are slightly different. In the fall, you study Reformation and the Counter-Reformation. You take a field trip to the Vatican in Rome. And instead of visiting Venice, you visit Rome instead of Venice, and you do not go to Poland or Auschwitz. That's what you do in the spring. And you study abroad in Olomouc in the Czech Republic. It is a 2-hour train ride from Prague. You earn 12 credit hours while you're studying there. And there are a lot of other students in the Czech Republic that are on Erasmus that are, so they're European students that are studying abroad from other European countries to the Czech Republic. So you'll have the opportunity to meet a lot of people, and there's a lot of fun nightlife options as well. So in addition to going in the fall, you might also choose to go in the spring, and that's when I went. But when you go in the spring, the focus on the classroom work is actually on the Holocaust, and you make a trip to Poland to see Auschwitz, the Nazi concentration camp in Poland. You have a 10-day spring break when you go in the spring and a 10-day fall break when you go in the fall. Studying abroad in the Czech Republic, the location is perfect because you are so centrally located that on your free weekends, you can easily travel around to the other countries. You also take a field trip to Dresden, Germany, Bohemia, Venice in the fall, or Venice in the spring, Rome in the fall, Vienna, Austria, and Prague. And those are all field trips you go on. And then you'll have free weekends to travel on your own and go to wherever has really been a goal for you. And the spring semester in Ireland is another option, and it's the one that I was just on, and it got cut a little short because of all of the COVID craziness. This trip offers a lot more opportunities for hiking and natural beauty as opposed to maybe its time in the cities. You live in cottages in Spittal Village, Ireland, which is a 25-minute drive from Galway. And professors from Galway University travel to your cottages to teach you the courses. It runs every spring, February to April. 10 to 20 other UNK students will be with you, and you're also earning 12 credit hours. Here are some other photos. For the field trips, instead of going to other countries on your field trips, you really see Ireland, the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland very well on those field trips. So the picture on the far left is us hiking Patrick. The picture on the far right is signing the Peace Wall in Belfast in Northern Ireland. So don't forget about those independent experiences that I was talking to you about. This is Peyton Livengood on her independent experience in Denmark. And here are some students that chose to go to Asia instead of Europe. And I think these photos do a nice job of illustrating how different the area looks and the cultures can be. But these are all locations that you could also go. So don't hesitate to reach out and start asking questions about those. So how to start, visit unk.edu/studyabroad and click the first step to schedule an appointment. You'll log in with your easy credentials, your Canvas username and password. You'll take the interest survey and email your availability to unkstudyabroad@unk.edu. And thank you so much.